Hello everyone, welcome to the Anti-Stall Racing Touring Car Series Round 9. Today here at Zolder circuit, famous circuit in Belgium. It's gonna be just me and Kevin, apparently, commentators. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me once again, Paolo. It's great to be here on this nice sunny day. Unfortunately, that sunny day means a lot of our drivers are also enjoying that, but do not despair. At least we have some action here going on the circuit. So yeah, we are on the Zolder. It's probably most famously known as the other Belgian circuit, unfortunately, seeing as Spa is probably the more popular one for a lot of drivers. But I mean, that absolutely does not do justice to the circuit. It's a great fun circuit. It's relatively narrow. It has some very good corners, mostly chicanes, so a lot of overtaking opportunities for these cars here. So I'm expecting a good one today. So yeah, let's before we head into qualifying, let's have a small look at the points currently for the current championship. So let's see if we can get them on screen here. Oh, if they actually want to show up. There we go. The current championship standings are: Brandon is currently in the lead with 528 points, which is a good, if my math doesn't fail me, 51 points ahead of Joni Niemi. So he might be able to clinch the championship today. So that should be something to look out for. Besides that, it's still a pretty close fight for third position, seeing as a lot of drivers are fighting for the third place, and not everyone is here today, so that might actually show up to be a very tough one. But let's head on to the track as we are starting the qualifying session. Just trying to see if we can get a good camera here for the drivers. Currently with Brandon Hawkin, who is working to start his first lap of the day. So yeah, we're just watching the circuit currently. Drivers going around, getting ready to start their laps for the day. So, Paolo, if you were a betting man, and I'm sure that you are sometimes, what are your expectations for today's qualifying?
It's always a fight between Brandon and Yoni, but usually Brandon always takes the lead, so expect Brandon to lead again.
You know what? I'm gonna go against you here. I'm gonna go for Yoni today. I mean, yes, Brandon is the safest bet, but Yoni has been fighting very strong, and I believe in the practice session, Yoni was actually ahead of Brandon. So that might turn out to be a exciting battle. But yeah, we're just waiting for the first cars to start going for the lap. I believe Yoni Niemi is the first driver to be starting his lap, as he is about to pass start finish.
Sorry, I can hear the dilute sandstorm in the background.
Oh, okay, that is not supposed to happen, but that shouldn't be an issue.
What's like that?
That does not matter for now. But yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to see if we can get our qualifying data on screen, as it's not wanting to show up currently. Ah, there we go. So Yoni is currently going through the first sector.
I was looking at the practice. Yeah, Yoni was 2 tips ahead of Brandon, but of course Brandon was probably just experimenting with the track limits, since this track does have some quite mean track limits, so to say. Especially on this chicane that we are approaching right here. To get in the wrong way, you always get to slow down. And of course, even the 1X is just enough to be annoying for the rest of the lap. This other chicane is a really tough one. If you remember, Kevin, when we did a little Mazda racing here for the race with Jimmy Broadbent, I was struggling a lot in these corners. It's not easy at all. You just slide all around. You need to take control of the racing line from the next right-hander. It's a really tough chicane. This one, I would say, it's easy. Since it's the most simple corner on the track. It's not a long one. It's short. It's just a hard braking point. Yeah. Then you got another chicane here.
This chicane, this is probably also one of the harder ones. I mean, you need to brake very late, which means you can overshoot this corner, which will ruin your run on this straight here. This is very crucial. But let's just see as he's going to go for his next lap. And let's walk him through the lap there, shall we? The Yoni is about to set the first time of the session a 1:38.7, which is a good one. But first turn one, a very tricky corner. It's so easy to slide wide here in your corner. When head all the way left. Get your braking point right to get a good run up this corner, get on the throttle nice and early, run wide, and make sure you can use as little of the track here as you can on the inside to get ready for another right-hander. And this one is tricky. You need to pick your braking point, turn it in, hope that your car sticks, and then don't run wide here. Get a little bit on the rumble strips. I think that was fine. Probably wasn't too bad. And now it's a little straight. Pick your braking point here around 75 meters, turn in, and then hug these curbs. Chomp all of it. And these cars are very good at that, so good on him. So we got a purple first sector. First, get a braking point here, which is very nice. These cars get in. Don't take an off track here. This is so easy to get an off track. And it's very important you get your good start here, because this is a small run up into the next set of corners. It's all flat, so you want to get as much speed as you can here. Get ready for the hairpin braking point around 100 meters. Heavy on the brakes, turn it in with as much speed as you can. Get on the throttle early because you can run nice and wide here. Now straight line it towards the next chicane. Braking point is usually just past 100 meters here. Yep. Turn it in, take a little bit of the curb, not too much as you get the off track. Same thing on this side. And these cars are just so compliant around here. I remember from a couple of races that I've done, both with the GT3s here and with the what do you call it, with the Mazda and with some other cars. It's so tricky around here, but these cars seem so compliant, and I guess the front wheel drive is really helping them here.
Yeah, it makes the going around the chicanes really stiffer compared to rear wheel driving cars.
Yeah, I mean you can take so much of the curb here. So it's really nice and really compliant to go. And look at the time so far. Yoni with a 1:38.4, which is half a second faster than Brendan. That's quite a good one there. He's got the lead, and he's still purple. He's just purple on every single lap. Really doing what he has to do.
So you know a lot about touring cars, do you?
I wouldn't say I know a lot, but you know, I like the cars.
I just recently learned that the World Touring Car Series doesn't even exist anymore. It's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah, that's
even though they use these cars.
Yep, it's unfortunately correct. The old World Touring Car Championship is not there anymore. I believe it was replaced by a different series, but I am not 100% sure which one. I think there's a lot of local touring car series though.
Yeah, it mixes within world series, like Europeans, the Asian ones, the Americans, and makes the points of it count as a world championship. I find it super weird, but it does mean, well, it's no longer really counts as a world championship, separate to what we see if like the GT World Championship, or GT3s are the most close I could really tell.
Yeah, I mean,
from these kinds of cars.
It definitely is a shame because I mean, well, obviously before we've actually have had a real life touring car driver in here before, with Tony Vuijschacht, who drives the Seat Leon Cupra touring car in real life, which we unfortunately don't have in iRacing yet. And don't take my word for that.
We are missing a lot of cars.
That's
like
true.
The popular CM Blue, what's it called? Link 03?
Potentially, yeah. So touring cars are not by using my cup of tea, but you know, it's they're great cars though. But look at Joni; he's just improving his lap every single lap so far, and he's currently pushing a 7/10 gap up to Brandon.
Yeah,
really showing what he's made of.
His strike.
Which is surprising. I mean, even Harry Junla is able to, you know, comparatively, Harry is closer to Brandon than Brandon is to Joni. So maybe Brandon just doesn't have that drive today.
Or maybe this just isn't an easy track for him. You know, I did see him struggle a lot going off on the corners, but it just might be the example of Yoni really getting the hangs of the car finally, and finally getting to, even it's on the last 2 rounds of the championship, he's finally trying to get the win from Brandon by pure pace.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before when Brendan had an off day or when Jody just legitimately had some pace. I mean, we've seen them fight a lot at the front there, but today it seems like Jody just has it. It seems absolutely great. Harry as well, 3 green sectors, a purple sector there for the 4th sector. So Harry is looking to improve his time as well. He comes over start
Look.
finish with a one.
Look how close Brendan now is.
Look at that. Harry just passed Brendan. And those are close times. I mean, they're all close to Yoni now. That is within the same tenth. That's a 38.34, 38.36, and a 38.43. That's 3 cars within the same tenth.
That's closer than I thought. I thought Brendan had this in the bag, but now it's a fight for a freeway here for first pole position here.
Yeah, and that just shows maybe how close the competition here is currently.
Look, Brendan already on the purple sector. Maybe finally learn how to pick up the track here, since he finally has the racing line properly, and therefore he's going off track as much. Maybe, because now he had the yellow sector, so it's hard to tell. But still, these tractors have 5 sectors. I mean, he could improve one and make a yellow on the other one, but still keep improving, like we are seeing another green one. A green one and a purple one might be enough for a pole position, since their times are so close by.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, for example, in the F1 race, F1 qualifying last weekend, you don't need to have all purple sectors. Yeah, you don't need to have all purple sectors to get pole position. All you need is all greens. Yeah, we've been asked by our race control and of course by our staff members as well to make sure we shout out our new series that are starting in a couple of weeks. We've got, of course, the next season of the Touring Car Series starting next month, and the signups are up now on the website, so make sure you check that one out. And we've also got, ooh, look at the drift, a brand new series coming up for the next season, which is the Sports Car Series, which will be LMP3s, which are the new cars in iRacing coming next season. So that will be exciting to see those cars on track. And of course, the old trustworthy GT4s battling out on track. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you head on to www.antistelracing.com and make sure you check out the series there and make sure you get a sign up. Sports Car Series only €5 for the entire season, and Touring Car Series $7.50 with a prize pool which is absolutely amazing. Goes up to the top 7, I believe, but Paolo might be able to correct me there. It's top 10
for the Touring Car Series?
Yes.
It's a top 10.
Yes, it's top 10. So, you know, make sure you show up there. It's I think everyone from P7 or P8 onwards does get their entry fee back. So even if you don't win the series, you'll at least get your entry fee back. Granted, you get the top 10.
He already got 2 purple sectors. Yeah, his first 2 sectors weren't that good, but maybe he can finally pull off another pole position here.
You can see Brendan improve on his time. Did Joni get it? He improved his time, but he did not improve his position. But we do see Brendan at the top again with 38.150, which kind of snuck onto us there. Brendan, did he improve his lap once again? He got a purple sector on the last one. He almost did, only 300ths off his current time. Yeah, let's ride on board with for one of the last laps with Yoni here as he's struggling to with the sector. That did look a little bit messy. I wonder if that's actually improvement on his current lap time or not.
These cars don't take too long to do a lap on this track. 1 minute 38 is a respectable time.
Yeah, I mean,
track feels bigger than it is.
It does. I mean, this track, if you're driving it, Brandon in purple for a sector, they're really looking to battle it out there. And it's all about these games.
By the way.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to pit. I mean, getting the tire heat in and keeping it going is probably more important. You need to make sure you've taken enough fuel that you can last. So these lap times are only going to get better and better.
Leon is 1.3 seconds behind Harry this time. It's not too far back of a gap even for the slower cars, so to say. They have actually pretty more competitive here than we've seen on previous tracks.
Yeah, let's see what Yoni can do. Can he improve his current time? He does. He gets to P1, but now we see Brandon, who is chasing him. He's got a purple, he's got a green. What is his last sector? Can he improve on that one? It's a long run to the finish line here. And I do think that is it's not a 38.054. That's also within 100th of a second. But now we got Harry He's got 3 greens. He's got 2 yellows. Does he improve? I don't
does
think he
not.
did. No, that's still 3 tenths behind, but that's so close. And I don't think anyone,
That's it.
maybe Yoni only, still has time to finish his lap, and that should be incredibly close. He's probably going to be throwing it.
I think we will see probably. What is it? Number 85 is Yoni? No, 87.
85 is, I believe, is Matteo. Yes. Oh no, that was
Yeah.
Leon.
I think Matteo and Leon can still finish a lap. I mean, no, Leon went to the pit. I mean, number 87 there, it's Yoni. I think Yoni can probably do it. He has 40 seconds to cross the lap. He only needs to do
Yeah,
this
the problem is it's 3 yellows, so it's not good enough so far.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's not going to do it.
I mean, it's one to make sure you finish the lap, but it's the second one to actually improve on it, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think
only
that's it.
400s between P1 and 2. That's crazy. Matteo does abort his lap. He goes in. And here
Can
we
he
got the
cross
run.
in time?
I think he does. I think he has time. It will be cutting it very close, but there's the start finish. That
He did it, yeah.
finishes time a 38.171. So he does not improve. So that means for current grid for race 1 will be Joni Niemi taking the pole position with a 38.013. Brandon Hawkin only 400s behind him, so that's incredibly close on P2. Ari Unila on P3. Leon Jenkins with the massive fan club on P4. And Matteo Lemarais on P5.
And seriously, well, I guess you were right. It was Yoni that was going to get pole, so congrats on that one, on that bet.
Thank you. Never doubt the Finns. Let's take a small, quick look at our points currently before we head out on track. There we go. We want to continue. So you can see Yoni is still going to need quite a few points. So he's not clear of Brandon yet, but we will make sure to keep an eye on that during the race. And for that matter, let's head on over to the grid and see our drivers getting ready to start their race.
You know, only the Audis are the ones that are on the back, so maybe because they are so close to the leaders, can they actually overtake before turn 1 with their amazing Audi starts?
Yeah, I mean, but with the way the steering wheel works and the cold tires, I can definitely see like both Brandon, Harry, Leon, and Matteo trying something into the corner. It's such a tight corner, but it really invites for dive bombs. Because the line is, of course, outside TN, but that doesn't matter now, as we are heading on with 5 lights, and the drivers are off, and that is a good start from our pole sitter, Yoni Niemi. But also a very good start from Harry there, who already overtook Brandon Hawkin there. And that seems to have been a very clean lap on, but Brandon losing a position, I'm quite sure he doesn't like in there. Yeah, all drivers making it through the first corners relatively safely. Everyone taking it quite cleanly. So let's go for the first real tough corner here. No one gets an off track, no one goes wide. Ooh, that's a very wide corner from Yoni, but he managed to keep it. But Hari and Brandon are both getting closer and closer and closer as we are heading towards the hairpin. See, no shenanigans into the hairpin. Everyone very cleanly bouncing their way through. And Matteo actually also did get an overtake onto Leon, so, you know, props to him.
It's basically a battle between the Elantras and the Audis.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
Still, seems like Brandon won't have it easier. He now has to overtake 2 excellent Finnish drivers ahead of him, which seem to have done a really good job on this qualifying, and in general seem to have a really good pace here, really competitive. Gaining a little bit of distance as well. Brandon needs to get closer to Harry, otherwise he won't get too much of a slipstream boost.
Yeah, and everyone's still keeping it quite safe. Brandon actually did pick up an off track there on that first lap, so he's really not so far in his zone. But it's definitely a very tight battle here. And I mean, some of these corners, if you're sitting behind a car, they're so hard to judge and so hard to actually, get a move on in, because especially when you're close to the cars, it's so hard to judge your braking points in these big, chunky cars.
Yeah, the launch especially since they feel like big saloon cars. Now Brandon is closer to Harry compared to Harry to Yoni, so...
Ooh, big chunk.
He cut more Brandon here than Harry as well. It's getting considerably closer each corner. Oh, that's a little loose on that kind of. Even closer, Brandon now got the opportunity to even get enough friction to pass him before turn 1. We'll see.
Yeah, Yoni is really running away there, and this isn't the easiest track to overtake on, but it's also not the hardest. I mean, you've got a lot of slow corners where you can pull off a dive bomb if you are very confident in yourself, but seeing as these drivers all very closely master each other, it's quite hard to it's quite hard to actually pull off an overtake. I mean, they're not that big of speed difference or skill difference between them. Even though, as you probably wouldn't say watching this, Brandon being 7.5k nearly, Yoni being 5k, and Hari being 2.2k. So, an absolute amazing race so far from Hari, being able to keep him up there. Yeah, we currently have Yoni still running away. He lost a little bit of time in the first sector, but that could just be him taking a bit safe. He doesn't need to risk it all. He doesn't need to do anything crazy here, but you can definitely see Hari and Brandon pushing. They're really trying all they can. Then back I'm assuming we saw Matteo having a little mistake, so let's head back to see what happened there. What happened with Matteo? Did he lose a little bit of time, or was there an incident happening? I believe we do see a move coming here. And that's just Matteo defending.
I think he has to slow down. No, he had to slow down.
Yeah, that must have been slowed down because he very clearly leaves it there. It's unfortunate for Matteo, who is now 3 seconds-ish behind Leon, but seeing as the pace he had before, let's see if they can get it.
I wonder if the stream gets content claimed by the background you have there.
It'll be fine.
This has just got even bigger now. I thought Brandon had it in the bag there to overtake Harry, but nope. He's now even more distant than Harry is to Yoni. Meanwhile, Brandon just made the fastest lap. I was going to say Yoni being the fastest on track, but no. It's really close times between the 3 drivers there. But Brandon now has the fastest lap.
Yeah, in total, Harry got the fastest lap, but I believe he got an off track, so it didn't count for his fastest lap there. His last lap was a 38.3, which is 3 tenths faster than the other guys, but unfortunately, that with an off track there, it's
Yoni taking a bit more of the track than is available, but he still managed to keep it on track at least. I wonder if you lose a lot more time going on the grass or sand compared to rear-wheel drive cars. I actually haven't compared. You can at least keep just full throttle and not completely lose control compared to rear-wheel driving cars. But usually when you are just taking a bit too much on the outside of a corner like that, you have to either take out the throttle on a rear-wheel driving car or just accelerate less. Otherwise you end up even spinning more, losing more of control. But with these cars, it seems like you can even go still full throttle. So Yoni didn't even lose that much time with that.
So yeah, the top 3 drivers still really engaged in their battle, and that is officially the fast lap for Harry Jr. with a 138.3. Both Yoni and Brandon. Yeah, but both of them picked up
Head offside.
an off track there, so I'm assuming that's in the chicane
Very,
or in the the second chicane there.
yeah.
So
I
tricky.
just saw Harry lose a lot of time on that corner because he's now almost a second. He was over a second in a bit, so yeah. Now I don't think he can get extreme enough to keep Brandon behind. Now he's actually gonna have to start defending on some corners, unless he managed to cut more of the corner. Of course, we need to be careful with the offsides. But it does seem like it's gonna stay like this for a while. Yoni can still, move out and not be afraid of someone trying to hunt him down. Oh, look at that! Look at how close they got there on that chicane.
Yeah, he's really trying to get a move on there, and we might actually see a dive home to this corner. He is so close. He's closer than he's been before. Is Brandon gonna go for it? He looks like he's gonna go for it. He's looking to get the braking, but he doesn't get the. Oh no, he has to back out there.
Yeah, and a move like that does cost them both more time. The gap just got a little bit bigger because of that.
Yeah, that gives a bit of breathing room to Yoni there. Just look at the drive Brandon has out of those corners. He's really trying to make sure he can get a move done, but it's so tough.
Yeah, now we have a proper fastest sled without any off tracks. That's not by Harry.
Brandon forcing Harry to defend there. Trying to go around the outside.
Can he do it?
No,
Can he do it?
I believe Harry has the drive to get him here, and he has the inside for the next corner, so I don't think Brandon has it, but he is really putting Harry in a very tight spot here. With this corner, like, it runs so wide, it's so hard to get a move there, but Brandon still has a move, and now they're going to go too wide into the chicane, and that only... Oh no, we see Brandon backing out before the corner. Very, very wise move. Doesn't want to risk everything for that one corner. Brandon knows if he defends, if he gains future races, he is the champion for the third time in a row.
Look, between their fighting, he only got now for 3-second lead out over them. And with 6 minutes to go, maybe this is enough for Yoni to win this race. Because he does have like faster pace than Brandon. Sometimes Brandon gets a better pace because of the switching, maybe.
I mean, just look at the sectors. They lost like 2 tenths last lap, but even more this lap.
Yeah. Behind these three, also, there's really not much happening. Unfortunately, we only have 5 people showing up. But there's still a big competition here, of course, between these 3 drivers. Which have been happening throughout the season, even. So, at least Brandon is never really alone in competition-wise. We can see even Leon over there in the distance.
Yeah, that's true. Leon he's trying his best. He's falling down a little bit, but unfortunately he's just not right on the pace of the other guys. Matteo Lemray improved on his previous lap time with a new personal best. Unfortunately, it's still a little bit off of P4, but I'm looking forward to race number 2 actually with the reverse grid. Brandon's going to be able to potentially drive away a little bit if he gets past Leon and Matteo quite fast, but we're going to have to see what's going to happen there.
Oh yeah, that is true. I forgot that when you reverse the grid, they still have to get through Leon and Matteo. And we see how Matteo usually isn't as good at defending a position. Sometimes it even ruins both racers. But it's interesting to see how fast Brand can get through, because if he is clear ahead, he might be the fastest driver. I'm not sure, because on this track it does seem Yoni being the clear fastest driver.
Yeah,
what do you think? Can Brandon keep the lead? if he starts on first?
Well, he's not going to start on first, of course. He's going to start behind Leon and Matteo. And
Yeah,
we've
but
seen before that Matteo, he has shown quite a bit of defense skills there, but unfortunately he got caught up a couple times in some unfortunate incidents. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's really shown that he is trying to improve and he's trying to get there, but unfortunately sometimes he's just not quite there yet. You see a message into YouTube from Exorcia team, Go Junana and Niemi. So we've got some Finnish fans here as well. Always great to see for the people who are driving, especially with two Finns in P1 and 2. And Hari definitely needs all the cheers he can get defending from our championship leader and last season champion Brandon Hawken. Yeah, only 2 minutes left to go in this Heat 1 race, which I believe will be meaning 2 laps until we are at the checkered flag. But for now, this means that Joni has managed to drive away. He's on a gap of 4.7 seconds, so he is relatively safe. And the big battle going on is still for P2, with Hari and Junila and Joni 38.019, which I believe is almost matching his qualifying time. I think his qualifying time was a 1:38.015, so that's not bad. Of course, these cars are getting lighter and lighter. These tires don't really get worn out that easily, unless you lock them up massively. So. Brandon's really looking for the opening, but he just can't find it. Oh, and this is a big move from Brandon. He just tried cutting a little bit too much, and that really backfired on him. But he did manage to keep it, so good on him. So even with that, he doesn't get pushed too far behind, so thankfully he is still there. Thankfully he's still alive as well. We did see a little bit earlier a little wiggle and a little move from Matteo, who had an off track here, so let's check back what happened there. I believe that was just a unfortunate off track here. Yeah, I was just heading through a little bit too early and just getting into a slide. Thankfully he's able to correct it, manages to get back on track and manages to survive. So thankfully not erase anything here, and I'm quite pleased with my prediction so far. Managed to predict a good race from Yoni, so that's good to see. I believe we did just get Yoni passing start finish for his white flag, but this is the final lap that we are currently going towards. Or on, sorry, my bad. I completely missed what part of the circuit they were on, but they're heading towards the chicane. Only now 5 seconds in front of the battle for P2. Let's just see how much these guys are taking the curves, really smashing the suspension, but everything to win that race, you know? Do you think we're going to see a move from Brandon here? He just needs to get a really good run through these chicanes. A really good run towards the hairpin, but I believe he kind of made a mistake there through the chicane, so losing a bit of time. I think we'll remove his chances for the P2. He's just too far behind now. I think he just, I don't want to say took the misery, but we see Yoni passing the final corner now, heading on to the start finish straight, getting ready to collect the Heat 1 finish. Blinking the lights as he passes start finish. Thus, congratulations to Joni Niemi, our race 1 winner. In P2 we have Hari Unina, Isfilofin and Brandon Hawken finishing in P3. And now we're just going to unfortunately have to wait a little bit for Leon and Matteo to pass the final corners. We see Leon in his infamous pink car. Going for the Swag Money Motorsport. Then in the final position, we have Matteo Lumeray for Drockheim Racing Team, finishing in a P5. Unfortunately, having a couple moments there, but managed to bring it home, which is always the most important thing. And that is the end of race 1. Let's take you over to the results for race 1. There we go. If this actually shows. There we go. The He1 results, Joni Niemi finishing in P1, earning 35 points for his race win. Harry Unila in P2 with 32 points. Brandon Hawkin with 29 points. Leon Jenkins with 27 points. And Matteo Lemeray with 26 points. So, let's see if this actually shows what we want to see in the championship standings as well. I hope that this actually shows up what I want to show. It does not, unfortunately. Nope. So that's still something we're gonna try fixing for the next series. But yeah, let's just get the screen out of there. Doesn't provide anything useful, then it doesn't provide anything useful for this one. But yeah. So, Paulo, was this a result you expected, or was this something out of nowhere?
Yeah, Yoni winning. I probably was expecting Brandon to win since he's usually even better on races, but seeing that Yoni won bit a great gap and still Brandon couldn't keep well past Harry's makes it for an interesting race that we will see. Race 2, maybe Yoni will try overtake Brandon this time if Brandon even makes it clear after getting through Matteo and Leon.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I just gotta say I'm pretty happy with the results there. I mean, of course, people are expecting Brandon to win. He has been, you know, very prevalent on the top of the podium here for this season and the previous seasons, but it was good to see some other people out there. And I gotta say, well fought by Hari for keeping off Brandon, the championship winner from last season's and the championship leader for the current season. So massive props to him. I wonder if he practiced with Joni a little bit. We're gonna have to ask that in the post-race interview. Make sure to scribble that down there. But yeah, while we're waiting for race 2 to start, I just want to remind you guys again that the current signups are open for Touring Car Series Season 4 and the Sports Car Series. If you didn't know, a Sports Car Series is going to be a new series that we're hosting featuring the LMP3 and the GT4 car. Times are only $5. We have an 8-week season with one break in between and it's split in half. It's a 45-minute race with a required pit stop, and it's bound to be absolutely amazing. There's some very interesting and very tricky tracks in there, so make sure you check those out and make sure you join. And of course, if you're asking where can I get in that action, make sure you head over to antistarracing.com and make sure you grab your entry there. But now, the most important part, we are going to head over to the grid for race 2. And for race 2, on pole position, we have Matteo Lemeray. P2, we have Leon Jenkins. P3, we have Brandon Hawkin. P4, we have Harry Unila. And in P5, we have Joni Niemi. So what are your predictions for race 2, Paulo?
Predictions.
Predictions.
I don't know. After failing the previous ones, I don't even know what to expect. We have 15 minutes of a chance for Yoni to pass Brandon here. The championship will not end on this race at least, so it's gonna be a hard one for the next one, but who knows if Yoni can still make a win enough of points.
Yeah, but we're gonna be able to see it in soon because we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and that's lights off and away we go. And this is a great start from Matteo here. Also a good start from Brandon, but we're about to go 3 wide into the first corner, which is bound to be a very scary move there. Brandon in the middle, able to make it stick so far, and that is Brandon and Harry going side by side into the corner. Brandon in front, Harry on the inside. And Harry pull off again like last time. We've seen this battle before. We've seen this exact move being pulled before. Drivers still side by side as they're heading towards the... Oh, and that is Harry slotting in. Not looking to get that fight done here. Yoni also right behind him. Maybe Yoni looking to make a move towards the hairpin. Who knows? The camera angle shows. There we go. That is two drivers almost going side by side, but not actually getting there yet. But Matteo already getting overtaken by Brendan. I believe that might be a slowdown. Or it's just a very bad exit from Matteo there. Definitely not what Matteo would have wanted with this lead. But that is Brendan now in P1. And let's see how fast the other drivers can get past Matteo there. Yoni almost pushing Matteo through the corner. And that is two drivers going off track. And that is a big spin. And that is... the previous racer in the Yoni, he's out. We're going to have to check that back in a second there, but I believe we're going to have a fight on our hands in a second here as well, as we're heading towards the towards the chicane, with Harry looking to get a move onto Matteo, pulling towards the inside, getting a good braking point, getting a great braking point, and that's side by side into the corner. Small tap, but all drivers still alive, and that is Harry past Matteo, and now Leon looking to make advantage of the situation. Two drivers fighting. Leon already up into P3. Gonna get a move. That's Matteo on the inside. Really fighting for his position there. And that's another tap. And that's Harry going incredibly wide. And that's unfortunately another driver off track. So two contenders from last race, Harry and Yoni, both unfortunately getting a crash there. And let's head back and see what happened earlier, or are we going to watch Leon and see if he can overtake Matteo there? There's a lot of action. Those reverse grids sure do give their money worth, unfortunately, sometimes. Here we see Matteo defending on the outside, Leon on the inside. Both drivers going over the curbs, and that is a good exit from Matteo, but a better exit from Leon. Still defending his position. Are we already catching back up to the back end of both these drivers? But that should be Leon in front, and that is Leon safely through. And I'm quite sure Harry is going to want some revenge there. I do believe Yoni is about to leave the pit lane again. Thankfully, he will be continuing. Of course, he wants those points. He wants to make sure he's got those points. And that inside move from Harry onto Leon, onto Matteo. And that is a move cleanly done. Good job there. So let's head back there with Yoni and Matteo both going off track there.
Hey, wait. There's still something going on here.
Oh, let's Matteo looking to get a move on, but he's not able to get it yet.
It's pushing him.
Yeah, that's nearly bump drafting there. That's the wrong person. Sorry. Pushing, putting out, going for the inside. That is a move from Matteo onto Harry, and that is not what Harry would have liked there.
Yeah. He expected Matteo to make it easy to go through, but no, Matteo's just trying to defend as hard as he can.
Yeah, meanwhile Leon is running away. He's trying to make sure he's gets position, but I mean, props on for Matteo. He's not letting them go that easy. Call it what you will about that. That's some balls there. Oh, that's a little blink from Harry. Is he able to get back, or is that Harry? That is Harry back, thankfully. A little bit further back, so something must have happened with this connection and must have. All right, and with the drivers a bit spaced out now, let's go back to see what happened with Yoni going off track and the incident that happened before that. I believe this is the corner where it all happened. Just see what happened here from the gyro point of view. Is really in the backside of, and it's so hard if you're following a car, you can't see where you're going, and both of them hitting the wall.
They both just went off track. I guess you only tried to follow Matteo's line because you couldn't see the track.
Yeah, it's so hard to see.
Matteo wasn't doing the proper line.
And if the car in front of you just has a small moment and goes off track and you follow him, it's so incredibly hard to see. I mean, especially how fast it goes. That's unfortunate. Thankfully, that is a big hit, but drivers are still both alive. Yoni, unfortunately, having a moment there, but is it back to the battle on hand? Matteo and Hari still fighting, or fighting again, is more like it. Hari looking to get a switch back here, but Matteo is still defending in the inside. Now with a good move, he's just barely not able to get it there. Just didn't have the rotation to move in, but oh, going for the inside? No. Oh. I believe there was a little touch, but both drivers thankfully still okay. That is not the best place to go for an overtake. And all the meanwhile, Leon is getting a better and better lead on them. Of course, Brandon is far gone. He is so far off in the distance. I mean, to compare, Hari and Matteo fighting are doing 142s, 144s actually, last lap. For comparison, Brandon is doing a 138.8.
That was a nasty touch there.
Oh, now up in the inside. That's not the defense you want to be throwing there.
Seems that both don't want to give up.
Yeah, neither wants to give them any breathing room.
But from the looks of it, now that Harry has the inside, he can do it properly. Yeah,
yeah, but we've seen that before.
So,
if Hari doesn't get his corner, then turn 1 is going to be tough because you can so easily dive it onto the inside there.
Matteo was pushing before.
Yeah, we did get a warning for number 43. Number 43 being Matteo Lemray for driving standards. I believe that was the little bit of pushing and a little bit of movement we saw there in the middle of the track after the second chicane.
But yeah, now Harry is 4.7 seconds behind Leon Jenkins. Leon Jenkins being second position. This is the highest he could possibly finish right now.
Yeah, let's head back over to the fight a little bit and see what the incident warning was for. I believe it's for the one before that.
Before this, yeah.
You see Matteo getting a bad corner there, which caused... You can see Hari is looking to go for a wide corner. He gets his nose up on the inside of Matteo, but Matteo just unfortunately steers into him a little bit, doesn't want to give him any space. I believe that's part of why he got that warning. A lot of touches.
We've seen this before too. We've seen Matteo do these exact moves, like really pushing the other car. Especially what I remember the most was on Chicago. When the track especially gets narrower, it causes a big pileup.
Yeah, I think that was more the way the track works at Detroit, as the track really tightens there, and if you're driving side by side, it's hard to see that. And if it's not a familiar track, which I guess Chicago for a lot of drivers isn't, I'm willing to excuse it there. But in here, it's just he had the car on the inside. The spotter must have given the warning, so I'm assuming that's just being a little bit too greedy, really not wanting to give it any space. But no, both drivers got through there. Both drivers are still alive. Matteo now falling a little bit back. Hari is able to get some clean air to hopefully chase down Leon Jenkins. And how about you take us on board with a nice fast lap from Brandon here, shall we? See how it takes the chicanes. It's always interesting to see how these drivers do it. That suspension must be killing him.
No, I noticed something on one of the new videos that I received. They added hand movements on the LMP3, one of the cars that we are going to have on our sports car series next season. But yeah, there are hand movements when you upshift and downshift.
Yeah, those are actually there on some other cars as well.
I've never seen it on other cars.
I know among others the W13 has it, the Mercedes. Among some others.
Weird, I actually never noticed it. And I have the car.
Yeah. We did just see the fastest lap being napped away by Yoni there with a 38.01. I'll try to get a nice showing of what the fastest lap is, but...
It's been fighting between Brandon and Yoni for the fastest lap now.
You see the fastest lap at 0.013, which I believe is faster than the qualifying time that Yoni put up for the pole position,
True.
So...
And even look at that, Harry, now that he has cleared, he's now on similar time, still only 4 tenths slower than Yoni, 2 tenths slower than Brandon Hawkin. Maybe if he finishes lap, yeah, there it is. It's almost the fastest lap too. So now that he is clear of Mateo, we can actually finally push. And he's quickly catching Leon Jenkins as well.
I mean, you can see it in Sector 1, he took off 7/10, so there might have been a mistake from Leon there. But he's just winning time all across the board. 7/10 Sector 1, 2/10 Sector 2, 3/10 Sector 3, another 3/10 in Sector 4. So it's...
In your opinion, just say this. If you are a bit slower, for example, Leon here, which is considerably slower than Harry, would you still try to defend hard? Or, I mean, this is the lead stage of the track, so I probably would defend if I was Leon. But on the other stage, would you try to defend it or keep up with the faster car to get the slipstream and get closer to the car ahead?
I mean, with these types of cars, there's not that much slipstream. I would defend, definitely.
There is. There actually is.
I mean, there's slipstream, but it's not that hard. We've seen it here. Long straights, these drivers get closer, but it's not like you see in some cars with like 3, 4, 5/10 even sometimes on the straight. It might give you a tenth, tenth and a half, but...
But there's a difference between slipstream and dirty air. These cars don't give you dirty air as the other faster cars, more aero dependent does. So you can still be faster on the long corners, for example.
I mean, I agree, but if your best pace is second off of the next guy, I defend. Like, I've got nothing to lose. If he gets past me, he's going to fly away. So, sure, I defend. Because even though you might be a second faster, it's so hard to overtake in some of these places.
Yeah, but you can get a penalty as well.
I mean,
for defending too hard.
If you do it fairly, there's no penalties there, but that's the point. You got to do it fair. You got to do it smart. You can't just, like, block off a corner just before you're about to go into it. But, pick the right corners, pick the right lines, and you should be able to defend a little bit. And what we saw before with Mateo, it might have been a bit hodgepodge sometimes, but besides that, he actually did have some nice defenses there and some nice moves, like, you know, throwing it into turn 1. Turn 1 being one of the corners where you really want to take a wide line into it, and you want to take a nice. You really want to make the corner as wide as you can. So if someone does come up on the inside, it's very hard to defend against that. And some other corners here where you can do the same kind of thing, but it's a game of give and take, and at that point, Mateo took a little bit too much. Oh, 38.001.
Yeah, Sector 2 has been faster on Leon than it is for Harry Unilo.
Yeah, I'm assuming Harry made a little mistake, but the drivers are so close now.
But yeah, I guess this is an easy opportunity for Harry to still overtake now. Is it going to be the last lap now or the next one?
I'm assuming...
Cross the line?
Let's check Mr. Flag Guy if he wants to show his face today. I do not see Mr. Flag Guy, but I don't see a white flag either. So I'm assuming we're going to go for 2 more laps.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm if I was Leon, I would be hoping that a white flag would have dropped this round, because he's really pushing it. He's really wanting to keep that position. He's trying to do everything he can to make sure he gets that.
Now is the opportunity for Leon to actually defend, but he's giving a lot on the inside for Harry, so I guess there is no defending here. He goes through. He's still behind him. Leon's just getting a lot of speed on the straight.
I mean, you can take the inside there, but you know you have to leave space for the guy on the outside, which really compromises your speed through those corners. Such a tough.
Sector 2 though has been better for Leon than Harry. You can see another gap here. Well, I wonder why.
I believe there might have been a little bit of the speed he scrubbed off towards that straight. Really affects you, and that that might have been.
Ooh, yeah, that cut.
That could have been an off track. I don't think it was a slowdown yet. It's very close to it, but it's.
Yeah, I don't think it was a slowdown either, just a cut. Otherwise, he would already start slowing down. Because the longer you take, the bigger the slowdown is going to be. It's going to have to do it on this lap now.
Yeah,
correct? Yeah, because Ryan just crossed the line like 5 seconds ago, so they are still going to under the lap.
Yeah, and Harry is probably really hungry for that one, and that is indeed, we got confirmation from race control, that was the white flag being waved. So, that is the final lap. Only 2.5 tenths separate Leon from his P2 finish. or Harry for his P2 finish even. See here, it's such a good line through turn 1. When is Harry going to pull the trigger on that? He needs to be smart. He needs to be good. He can't risk it. You see the move on the inside here. This is not the place to do it. I don't think this is the place you want to do it. Focus yourself. Get a good run through here.
We saw it before on the previous lap. Harry was the inside, Leon on the outside, and Leon could get more speed through the straight line.
We're going to see a dive. We're going to see a defense from Leon. Nope. Both drivers are still sticking together, getting ready. This is the Hyundai versus the Audi, the battle for B2.
I mean, we saw how Leon just does that. She can so much better in each lap. Even though Harry did have almost the fastest lap.
Except this time he didn't. He's got his nose up the inside. Can he keep it there? Ooh.
Oh, he used too much curb, so he's losing a little bit of time.
Yeah, this
now
might...
if Leon needs to defend on the inside, go to the inside, Leon. You can't leave it open.
Oh,
and he goes through.
Yes, he does. He's able to get it. While we're watching them go through the... Brandon finishes in P1, so congratulations to Brandon, but we're going to go right back to this battle. This is not over yet. Leon has the inside for the next corner, which is generally the preferred side if you're braking. But, oh, that's going very wide for Harry. He's able to keep that corner close, and that is a P2 for Ari Unila and a P3 for Leon Jenkins. Well fought, but unfortunately, so close. But the white flag came a lap too late for Leon.
That was a much fairer battle between both the drivers.
Oh, that was absolutely close. I mean, I thought in the hairpin already they were going to touch, but no, Harry managed to slow down and managed to be able to get the overtake there, and that was crucial for him to win.
Yeah, I guess Leon just, well, he didn't want to brake too late, otherwise he might have even crashed with Harry, or he was just as comfortable with the brakes as Harry, for example. But it was a nice effort, but he should have defended before the tight corner. It was the best opportunity he had to stay in P2. As you see, Yoni finally crossing the line and finishing on the top 5. Out of 5.
Yeah,
But yeah, that means that Brandon did outscore too much over Yoni, so the championship battle will go through the last round because he only gained 77 points max and he's still way less than that over Yoni.
Yeah, I also just want to pull your attention to the best lap times in there. In the end, Yoni Niemi managed to get it with a 38.001, but I mean, look at Brandon and Hari in there as well, 38.04, 38.07. That's. I mean, that's close.
Almost the qualifying times.
Yeah, I think Yoni actually beat his qualifying time. Pretty sure he did.
Yoni did.
Yeah, that's incredibly close. So let's head on over towards the race results, or of course the feature race. Third race, we got Brandon Hawkin finishing in P1 after a good start and managing to drive away. Original with a long battle with Leon, finishing in P2 with Leon and P3. Matteo finishing in P4, and Yoni, after his incident early on in the race, unfortunately finishing P5. So, Paulo, how about you remind our guests about the upcoming series while I try and get the race winners into here?
Yes. So registrations are open for Touring Car Series Season 4. For next season, starts 2 weeks after week 13. It features all the touring cars that we have seen on this series, just like all the rules, except now instead of 10 races, it's going to be 8 races with a break week in the middle. And the sports car series, which is the LMP3s and GT4 multi-class, similar to the IMSA series of previous seasons. And, well, those are also going to have one pit stop during the race. It's a 45-minute race. And it goes all Thursdays. Touring Car Series goes all Tuesdays. For more information, just go to www.antistarracing.com and get your registration there. You can also join our Discord. You can see it. It's not on the YouTube description, but if you go to our website, there is our Discord. You can join us there as well.
You always go to discord.antistarracing.com to instantly join it. Yeah, I believe we do have our first interviewee here with us, which is Brandon. Good evening, Brandon.
Good evening.
Good eevening. It was a surprise not to see you up on the top of the podium for race 1, but I mean you managed to make it up for us in race 2 there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there in race 1. I was feeling like really tight, and also yeah, you know what, I just couldn't. There were a couple corners that were just kind of throwing me for a loop there. But yeah, took a big crank at the brake bias there for the second one, and kind of slowed up my entries there in a couple of corners, and it helped a lot for the second. But man, that first race was a lot of fun. I had a really great battle there with Harry there throughout the entire race, and great win to Yoni. He was really quick, and yeah, once he got battling there, he just got to drove off into the sunset. But yeah, that was some really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean it was great to see. You had a very nice battle with Harry there in race 1, of course. Race 2, you managed to avoid the little bit of trouble behind you. You managed to get past Leon and Mateo quite early, and from there on it was a pretty lonely race, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was yeah, at the very start there, man Harry, the last 2 weeks he's been getting lightning starts. Like he's found like the ultra sweet spot there at the very start, and yeah, so he got to my outside, he went up the middle 3 wide, and man, yeah, we all well kept our lines there, all ended up clean, and yeah, I was side by side with him for the first few corners there, and yeah, I really wanted to get the run off the outside, and fortunately I did. I think he cut me a little bit of a break there going into I'm not sure what the corner is called, but just before the straightaway, before the chicane, and so yeah, I was able to just kind of, or like drive ahead there, and then I think let me see here. Oh yeah, okay. Mateo made a little bit of a mistake going into the chicane, and I was able to get the run coming off. And then after that, I saw him and Yoni go wide there. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, there's a crash or something, and yeah, from there is just able to kind of you know, just run my pace, and you know, just yeah, kind of run it to the line there. But yeah, first race though, that was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean it was great to watch as well. I mean you guys really looked to be going for it. I said race 2 you managed to get past race 1, it was a good battle. So you're currently still the championship leader. I don't believe you've clinched it yet, but I'm waiting for confirmation from our race control team, and of course the final standings, which will be up soon. Last race of the season next week. I believe we are going to, and I'm trying to drag this out so I can check this, of course, in the stats. We are going to Road America. Another long course, more circuit-like. What are expectations for that one?
Yeah, should be a good time. Yeah, Road America's got some like super long straightaways, a really good combination of like small or like short, like slow corners, and some long sweeping corners, and you know, it's probably gonna be one of the most draft heavy tracks on the schedule. So yeah, it's gonna be some really tight stuff. I imagine some real good side by side racing there. Should be some good stuff. And yeah, I'm just for myself, I'm just gonna try and keep it clean. It'd be great to come home with win, but I think the way the points are now, I should be okay, barring like any like catastrophic incidents or anything. So I'm just yeah, just hoping to keep it clean and have some more really great racing with these guys. Man, Harry, last couple of weeks he's been really on it, and yeah, Yoni as always as well. So it's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean I absolutely agree with you. And speaking of that, we actually have Hari here in our chat with us. Good evening, Hari. Hello, hello. Is Harry home?
Okay,
But-
hello.
Ah, yes. Hello there. Good evening.
Good evening, mates. How you
Good
doing?
evening. We just had a couple nice words about you from Brandon. He's really thinking you've improved lately, which you know, we think as well, seeing as the result from race 1. How are you feeling about today?
Well, actually, I was a little bit surprised about my pace because I knew that Brandon and Joni has been very fast. This kind of tracks, but I don't know. I think this was I had a good setup for car, and was quite confident, and okay, was a little surprised about my pace, but yeah, maybe some progress for my driving, but you know those two guys they are flying all the time, so I had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I mean, race one, we saw you have a good battle with Brandon there. You managed to keep him behind you for 15 minutes, finishing in P2, so that's a great result there. And race two, you had
Yeah,
a little bit of a recovery race after the little incident there with, I think, Matteo into turn one. You had a big
yeah.
recovery race to get back to Leon. Yeah, what were you thinking there?
Well, I don't know. It, this track or this car is quite tricky to overtake. So, and it's sometimes if you're driving as close as possible to the first car, it's quite hard to brake. You know notice the braking points and everything. So if you're driving behind Joni or Brandon, you pretty much know that they will brake very late. So that might be sometimes the problem. But I don't know. It's you know this is TCR, so some hits every now and then. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is the, in the end, this is pretty much the epitome of rubbing is racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to see. So we were wondering as well, you and Yoni, do you guys know each other? Do you guys practice together by any chance?
Yeah, we know each other. Yeah, yeah. We drive at a different team, but we know each other for sure. And in
Uh,
Finland, we have our own leagues where we're driving different cars, and we're trying to. He's the TCR guy, and I like this car too. So
all fair, all fair. I mean, we were wondering as you seem to be also improving week after week, which is of course always great to see. So, big props to that one.
yeah,
Next week,
yeah. Thanks.
yeah, next week we're heading to Road America. What are your expectations for that one? Are you going to be on the pace as well there?
I don't know. I don't like that track at all. So we will see. We will see. I think Brando for sure he's very quick there, and Yoni also, and the other guys too. But I have no pressure, so let's see. But I will take part of it for sure.
All right, all fair. Well, Harry, Brendan, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for the interview. Any last thoughts for that one?
Yeah, I'm just. Oh, sorry. Was that? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just looking forward to next week. Should be some good stuff. There's always I always have some great action here, and yeah, great race, Harry. Really good stuff today, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to Road America. Should be a really good time.
Okay, yeah,
And of course, since we have a
we will see there.
non-English native speaker in here, any Finnish word for your fans?
Kiitos. That's about it.
That's not fair. All right, great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, kiitos to you too, and have a great evening, guys. Paolo, thank you for being here with me again tonight. Thank you for being in this commentary booth. I know the feet are pretty smelly in this tiny booth, but always great to have someone here who's willing to share the space. And I believe he's passed out. All right. And with that one, I think we're going to call it an evening for us here at Antistar Racing. So for everyone still here, thank you for joining us. Make sure you head on over to our website to make sure to check out Touring Cars Series. I believe there's a cat
It's my
going
cat.
in. I was wondering what that was. All right, so yeah, that's everyone who's still there. Make sure you head on over to our website to grab a seat for Touring Car Season 4 and, of course, our Sports Car Series, which is LP3 and GT4. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you follow us on all the social media channels wherever you can. And we hope to see you there next week again. Have a good evening and see you next week, same place, same time.
I don't have the words to tell